So, this has been a long time coming. Um, so I'm joining the Army. I'm going to be in 91 Bravo, wheeled vehicle mechanic. Um, going to be sitting at Fort Jackson for about 9 weeks and 4 days for basic training, and then I'm going to Fort Lee for 14 weeks and 1 day. I'm pretty excited, the Army thing was not always my path, but I've always thought of it. Middle school, we had recruiters come in. High school, we had recruiters come in. I didn't really pay much attention. I kind of fantasized about it, just being that Call of Duty player that I am. I always was like, man, how great would it be to serve the country? And I'm not going to be doing active duty, going you but at the same time, it's still helping out the country no matter what. Just that work ethic, you gotta put it in at all times when you're doing your duty. So I kind of wanted to go over meps, my day at meps. It was tough, I'll tell you that. So we got there, we're chilling there at 2:00. Went to the recruiters. We sat in the office for about an hour or 2 hours at the time. We were just waiting for more people to show up so we could ship each other to the hotel that we were staying the night at that night. And it was pretty cool. The hotel was nice. Dinner was horrible. I remember we had a very horrible, thick, dry bread with one slice of cheese, one slice of ham, a little bit of mustard on top. I think I had an apple with a Snickers bar, and they gave us a 6-ounce thing of water. I was fine with it. I was chilling with the amount of food they gave us because I'm not super picky. I'll eat whatever. But I know a bunch of the dudes were complaining about the food and stuff, and I was just like, man, it's food. It's just food. But we had to wear a mask at all times, and so dinner was from 8 to 10. We had to be in our rooms by 10 o'clock. And it was on inauguration day too, so I had the CNN turned on, and I was just watching, and it was a chill night. My phone was dead the entire time because I didn't bring a charger, and I didn't know what the conditions of the hotel room were going to be like, so I was just like, I'm just not going to get on my phone. So turned on CNN, watched it for a good 30 minutes, and then I was like, you know what, there's a shower in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and take a shower. So I took an hour-long shower, just soaked up, made sure to clean my ears out, just so they wouldn't have to pull me aside and clean my ears out for me, because that's pretty embarrassing, and the way they do it, sometimes it can draw some blood, and I just was like, I'm not trying to have my ears bleed, if that makes sense. So we woke up. I woke up at 2:00. I ended up falling asleep at around 7. Sorry, dinner started at 6 and ended at 10. I fell asleep at 7. So I woke up at 1:00, and I was just chilling there, turned CNN back on. I was just chilling, and I was like, I'm gonna get my day started, and I'm just gonna go down there at 2:00 and just sit there and get ready for the breakfast, because breakfast was at 3:45 and it ended at 4:15 or 4:25, I believe. I should really be saying this in Army time, or military time, but I just haven't gotten used to it yet. And the breakfast was this Jimmy Dean's ham. I don't even think that there were eggs in there. Ham and cheese again. We had an apple, and then a Quest bar. Not a Quest, but a granola bar, Quaker Oats bar. It was decent. We also had that water. They had coffee. The coffee was terrible, but I'm so glad that I did have the coffee, because I wouldn't have had the energy to do all of the things that I was gonna do that day. Coffee was terrible. It was super bitter. I put like one thing of creamer in there just so I didn't look like a creamer hog. But no one else seemed to get coffee, and I didn't want to go up there for seconds because I didn't know if I was allowed to. So we get on the bus at 5. We stood in a line for the bus inside the hotel for about like 45 minutes. There's a guy just giving us the rundown, telling us stories, cracking jokes with us. And I was like, this doesn't seem very military. And then he started yelling at us, and I was like, oh no, gee whiz, man. And so we were all shipped onto the bus, and we were going down to, I think, just Dallas, the Dallas area. And so we get in the bus. It's like a 25-minute drive, and I feel like we're not even 25 minutes away. I feel like we like looped around a good bunch, but that might just be because of the bus's length and the weight and stuff like that. And then we get to the building, and we're placed outside front in this long line. I think it took us an hour, not even an hour, like 45 minutes to get inside the building, get searched, take a quick COVID test with the little scanner to the forehead, and then we were off. And I tell you, I was not ready for the rest of the day. So we get in, we kind of go up the elevator, go to the fourth floor, and we're going over paperwork and things like that. We're filling out forms. We go to the med bay. We go straight into this like conference room, and they're giving us the breakdown. And I gotta tell you, like, I did not know what was going on the entire time. I was just sitting there kind of vibing. I was like singing some Trippie Redd songs in my head, just kind of going back and forth, just like dancing and moving. So they kind of gave us a breakdown of like what all was gonna happen. We talked to the captain. They're all pretty cool people. And then we go and take 8 hours to perform audio, vision, physical, blood, urine. So like 5 or 6 things. I feel like I'm missing one, but like 5 or 6 things that you had to do. And it took us 8 hours, and it shouldn't have taken us 8 hours. So audio is pretty hard. I mean, I didn't know this, but I am losing my hearing, so that's fun. My vision was decent. Whenever they told me to go like that and put my head to the goggles, I kind of like did that little number and kind of looked at them, and it made them a little bit better. But when you're aiming down the scope of a gun, you're not gonna have both wide open. You just go like that, right? So that was sight and audio. What was next? The blood. So I'm not super terrified of needles. It's just like the anxiety of having a needle shot in me. And I mean, I understand their government and they make sure that you're safe. But going into it, before I got to MEPS, I was like, man, what if they use the same needle for everybody? And that kind of gave me anxiety. I was like, oh crap, man, what is going on? So luckily, that wasn't the case at all. And honestly, like you can't even feel the needle go into your arm. And it was amazing, because every time I get like a shot or blood drawn, tested, I always like curl my toes a little bit, and then the sensation of them like sticking me kind of like throws it down to my toes, and I'm like, whoa. But that didn't happen this time. And I was very amazed, because it was just the smallest, daintiest little thing. Just it was nice and easy. Didn't even take that long. But I did kind of make that lady mad and piss her off a little bit, because I was talking to one of the guys that was next to me, and we were cracking jokes, and we were kind of giggling a little bit. And then she whips out the curtain. She goes, I said, hush! And we just froze. And I was counting the people, and I had her next. And I was like, oh my God. So I looked over at the guy that was next to me, and I'm like, she's gonna completely stab my arm. Luckily, she didn't do that. I apologize. She was very nice. She was very sweet. So after that, I took the urine test. Whew, passed. And And that was pretty much it for the med bay section. I mean, we did a physical test, but me being a former gymnast and all, it was literally the easiest thing. I weigh 150. I'm not sure if it's on papers right here, but I think I weigh 154, and I'm like 68 inches, 68 or 69 inches. So decent height, decent weight. So after all that, we got thrown out of the med bay, and we were going to the offices of the Army, and we were doing paperwork, and he was like, okay, you're finished with this, we'll send your paperwork over to the counselors, just go and eat lunch, and we'll call you when you're ready, or when we're ready. So I go to lunch, and lunch was absolutely amazing. So I had a Coke, I had this like Subway-esque sandwich with like nice meat, like thick cuts of meat just layered. I think I had beef or something, I don't know. And then just like on the top of this bread. And there were like bagged tomatoes, bagged lettuce, and like some dressings like tomato and relish. Not tomato and relish, but mustard and relish. So I put that all in there, made my fixins up real good. I was in the middle of my first bite, and my counselor came, like stood right in front of me. He's like, "We're ready for you." I was like, "Oh, okay." I put my mask on, and he's like, "No, you can sit there and eat. I'm just telling you that we're ready for you." I was like, "Okay, you should have led with that." And then that process took like 2 hours. We just went over paperwork, and then he sent me to stage 3. It's either stage 2 or stage 3 of swearing in. And so I was getting my fingerprints scanned again. I was running back and forth all over the building getting paperwork filled out. And I was like, why couldn't we just have like a line of people doing that? But, it's not my business to correct the workflow. So after all that, I think the day was sitting at a good 12 hours at that point. We were just filing paperwork, looking at stuff. And I had already taken the AIT test the week before. Just to, not AIT test, but the ASVAB test. Week before, and I did pretty good, like 76. A lot of guys that I knew got like 40s and kind of failed, but it is what it is. But one of my buddies got like a 92. I was like, I didn't know you were that smart. So swearing in, it was pretty fun. We swore in, we said the oath, we stood in parade rest, we stood on attention, captain came in a little bit, talked to us, and we recited the lines, and it was cool. Then we kind of went behind everything, and we filled out paperwork for the last time. I got a lot of people's Snapchats. We were pretty much just vibing, telling jokes, because at that time we were sitting waiting for swearing in. We were waiting for 9 people, and some of them were there since 6 in the morning for swearing in. I don't know how, I don't know why, and I don't know why there were more people swearing in like that. It was ridiculous. I'm pretty sure he was just sitting in the movie room the entire time, just not paying attention. But, we were sitting there waiting for 9 people, and it was like a gamble. We would like ask people, like, yo, are you swearing in? You swearing in? Just trying to get a head count of people. Most of the guys were silly gooses, and they were just ridiculous the entire time, but it was fun still. Yeah, I got a Bible from them. Not completely religious, but I got one just so I could read it in the boot camp and the AIT, just to have something to do, because I'm not gonna have a phone. And I'll journal a little bit, but that's about it. But yeah, that was pretty much the rest of my time at AIT. It was just a fun experience. I can look back on it and remember every single detail. I'm glad I did it on Inauguration Day, so I know that like the things that I'm doing are important, because if I did it any other day, I think I wouldn't have like the broader scope of things. Be like, oh, I'm just swearing in, but I'm swearing in on Inauguration Day. And it doesn't matter if you like the new president or not, it's still an honor to be sworn in when the president is sworn in. So that'll be it for the video. If you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe. I also do finance videos. Kane Finance, that's a little handle that I got going on. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, y'all have a good day and keep bearing arms.